Shalom and shalom, people. Cesare Borgia, some of you black people's favorite person in the world. Now this is where you get the image of white Jesus from. This man right here, he was the son of Pope Alexander VI, and Pope Alexander ordered Leonardo da Vinci to replace all the images of Christ to make it look like his son, Cesare Borgia, who had an incestuous relationship with his sister. He was a homosexual, a murderer, you name it. And that's the image, a lot of you black people worship. Got all up in your houses, on your bed frame, all up in the black church, big old Cesare Borgia, aka White Jesus. And you know what? I don't even have to go through the history of Cesare Borgia, because the Bible literally has the physical description of Christ himself. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the images of Cesare Borgia, aka White Jesus, and then we're going to get the description of Christ in the Bible. And you tell me, do they match up? Very, very simple. So let's get it. This is Revelations 1:14, and it reads, "His head and his hairs were white like wool." Now, before we get those smart asses come in my comments talking about, say, look, it says his head and his hairs were white. That means his head was white. No, when it's talking about his head, it's talking about his eyebrows and his facial hair. So don't come over here with that nonsense. So once again, his head and his hairs were white like wool. Does this man have white woolly hair? Please, you tell me. Come on, black people. Does this man have woolly hair? Obviously, that's a no. They didn't even get Christ's hair texture correctly. His hair texture, they couldn't even get correct. Yet you guys still think that this is the actual image of Hamashiach himself. Skipping down to 15, and his feet like unto fine brass. Let's see how dark this brass was. As if they burned in a furnace. So you see, quote unquote, Jesus was a dark-skinned man. And his actual name in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahawashai, not Jesus. The letter J didn't even come around until like the 15th century, but that's a video for another day. And you know what the crazy thing is? You will show black people this, and what's the first thing they will say, especially black Christians? Color doesn't matter. If color didn't matter, why did they change the image? And as I said, they didn't have to change anything because it actually has his description in the Bible. So why did they change it? And you have to understand too, just when our children see this, when you see little black girls, little black boys look up to this, when they see that quote unquote Jesus is a white man, that means they're going to think that God is a white man. And if God and Jesus is a quote unquote white man, that means the people of the Bible are going to be white men, right? So our people are going to reverence them. Now, if you gave our children the true understanding of what the real Christ looks like, how do you think our children's psyche would change? You know, that little black boy, you're telling, you know, Christ looks like you. Christ has woolly hair like you. Christ has a dark skin complexion like you. Just that alone, you know how much confidence our children would have. And once again, that's the straight truth. It's not a lie. And this right here is very plain, very simple, very easy to understand. You don't have to look over the meaning of words. You don't have to go through this and go through that. You don't have to look up historical context. It's literally right there in the Bible. Hopefully this was an edifying lesson for you brothers and sisters, giving all praises to the Most High Yahweh and giving acknowledgement to Hamashiach Yahushai.